Are you related to Luda?
No. So there was a crossroads where we were both invited to an Illuminati thing, and it had to be one or the other of us, and decisions had to be made. So it was both of us. We were equal. One of us had to cut off all their hair and couldn't do the sideburn thing no more with the points. And the next person, they said, was going to get $200 million because they were going to pay him $10 million a movie to do 20 movies. And that's how the conversation happened. One of those persons turned out to be Ludacris, and the other person turned out to be Katt Williams. Now, one person ended up with a light-skinned, ugly-faced wife that's never done it. Remember I told you that if I say that, it applied to 7 people?
Yes.
It's part of what they give you. Okay? I didn't get it. I'm not mad about it.
How much money they give? 200?
Sir.
Whatever's heavy on my heart is always on my mind. Like Snoop's cannabis shredder, I'm always on my grind. They throwing shade cause niggas could never take my shine. I bring my watch collection on my jet, let me take my time. Like fine wine, I'm aging like Benjamin. Top 5, I'm worth mentioning. Bring me rappers, I'm lynching them. See the pendulum swing, Jesus with diamond thorns. Ludacris, swaddled in Gucci linens when I was born. Never been Illuminati, only Illuminati. And I only left with bitches when coming from any party. Now I'm married with kids, the evolution of life. Never been a clout chaser, never say shit for likes. R.I.P. John Singleton. You never have to flex when you earn every one of your Fast and Furious checks. Afro with the sideburns. Yeah, that's my signature. Addictions on the rise. Comedians check your temperature.
Steve Harvey telling people he used to be homeless. That's my story. That's not his story. Steve Harvey wasn't never homeless. When Mark Curry was touring with him 25 years ago, he was making $3,000 a show in cash and doing 5 shows a week. They just tell the stories. Thanks to my wife, I'm where I am. You said that about the first wife. You forget that? You told us it was her. Then you went and married somebody else that think like a man. Like, what are you talking about? I came in this business saying I was going to expose. When I talked about Michael Jackson, when I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. Period. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
I didn't have no one of these.
Being with me all the time. You know, she see my stuff, my new stuff, and all that kind of stuff. Especially when I do my single dates, and I'm trying to school her. You don't do your material around a lot of comedians. That's like stealing in front of the police. You don't do it. They mean well, but they sit on the side. Ooh, that's funny. Next thing you know, you see it on HBO or something. You be sitting at home. That shit mine, you know. But ain't nobody gonna believe you. First come, first serve. You know. So when you do new stuff, you never. I'm telling you, for you comics coming up, never bring your stuff out in front of a house full of comedians. You will never work a lot. Especially established comedians like myself, you'll never work a lot. I got too much pride. I can't take something that ain't mine. You know what I mean? I can't go up and say something ain't mine. The kick about going up there is making people laugh about something that you wrote.
I addressed this Katt Williams thing one time, man. I saw people on there really commenting about that. Look, I have no idea what this brother is talking about. That joke is over 30 years old, close to 30-something years old. I did the Kings of Comedy in 1999. Probably had been doing that joke 6, 7 years before that. I don't even know if Katt was doing comedy then. So, you know, again, he's a talented brother. I have no idea what he's talking about. I've never seen Katt do a space shuttle joke. So, you know, that may be something that he believes is true. I've written a lot of jokes. I've had a lot of comedians steal my jokes as well. So I understand if you feel, you know, slighted by that, but that's my joke. That's my joke, dog. Driving space shuttle to the moon, cigarette, cutie pie rocking in the background, parallel parking the spaceship. It's my joke, though. So that's what I believe it to be. So, all right. That's all I can say about that, man. I'm not getting ready to be in the whole back and forth about this. I've been doing this, dog. So that's all I can really say. Got a lot of jokes throughout the career, lot of humor, lot of doing it on different platforms. So, you know, keep rocking, Katt. Do your thing.
I saw that you did respond to Katt Williams.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that, Sadie. I hate that y'all, like, that there's any sort of issue.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, it's interesting. It's an interesting time now. People get on these blogs and they just, you know, start just spewing off stuff that's not even factual.
Right.
But, you know, I let the fodder just go out there until I'm ready to respond to
Your
it.
work speaks for itself.
I am who I am. I stand on that, right?
Absolutely.
For sure.
Stand on business.
Hey,
Ain't that what the
come on
kids
now.
say?
Well, that's right. That's what, yeah.
Katt say you stole one of his jokes.
Yeah, like, I mean, it was ridiculous. You know what I mean? It was like the idea of the joke that he was even talking about don't even match up with no timeline. So for me, it was one of those things like...
Did you have a conversation? Did you guys sell it? Did you have a conversation with Katt?
Well, I responded to him the way he responded to me, but that's what I said as well. I've seen Katt, you know, even before then.
Right.
I've seen this guy 30 times. Like, dog, if you literally was that upset about it, like, dog,
just
why
step to me and say, hey,
why
say
didn't you say nothing? Like, that don't even make sense. This is some internet shit, and that's all I can say. So, you know, when I responded to him, he didn't respond back to me, and I left it at that.
Do you feel that someone else has stolen some of your material?
Oh, that's a part of this business.
Right.
Like, you know, and I think that, you know, sometimes it's intentional and sometimes it's not.
Right.
Like, you know, like I would say sometimes people will hear a joke or take a slice of your material and make it their thing, right? But the origin of the joke came from you.
Right.
And so that's happened. That's a part of it. That is not an uncustomary thing.
Right.
Now, everybody knows that comedians, you know, your job is to write original material.
Right.
Your job is to have original point of view. So I'm not saying that that's not something that can't happen. But this particular thing didn't happen. But in general, yes, I've had people take my joke. You hear?
Did they make it funnier than you made it?
I don't.
When it cut off, it looked like this. You flossing in a 6-shift convertible.
He gonna walk up and introduce himself. Charles Johnson, man. Everybody around here call me Bombinicious, though. Everybody around here call me Bombinicious. It's fine. You call me that. Don't even worry about it. Everybody call me Bombinicious. Everybody call you Bombinicious. Yeah, everybody in the whole city call me Bombinicious. Don't even worry about it. It's fine. You call me that. Don't even worry about it. Bombinicious. This is what everybody call. Yeah, everybody call me that, man. Don't worry about it. I'm like, all right. So all week long, my ass talking about Bombinicious. What up, boy? Hey, Bombinicious, you gonna run around, come over and watch the game with us later on. Hey, Bombinicious, run to the store, grab some beer, come on back. My cousin said, what you calling him? Bombinicious. He said, everybody call him Bombinicious. It's all right for me to call him that. Like, nah, man, his name's CJ. He's saying you could call me by my initials. That's what he's saying.
The only way that I can answer that question is by telling the Bombinicious story. It's a true story. See, there was this white family that lived in Mississippi, and they had this man who worked for them occasionally named Bombinicious. Now, he did various small jobs for them on and off for about a week. One night, he had just finished bartending a party, and the lady of the house realized that she didn't have any money. So she said to him, Bombinicious, I want to write you a check, but I don't know how to spell Bombinicious. And he said, well, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. See, when I came to work for you, I told you my name, and then I said, but you can call me by my initials.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Omomi, aka Petite Diva, and in this video we are going to be talking about the aftermath of Katt Williams' interview. Now, if you don't know about the interview, where have you been? This is the interview, the conversation that Katt Williams had on Club Shay, where he dragged almost everybody in the entertainment industry in Hollywood. Now, in that interview, Katt Williams mentioned some specific people, mentioned some specific events, called out people who stole his jokes, called out people who are plants, called out people who does not think they're funny, called out people who have fake accent, called out people who were saying that they got a role he played, called out people who said he didn't do a particular thing in the movie, talked about how he roasted somebody and he got pointed with some things because of he roasted a particular comedian, and it was such an explosive conversation because Sharpe says it's not an interview, it was a conversation with a drink. Anyway, all the people, some of the people that he mentioned felt the need to come back and try and reply. So we've had Kevin Hart talk about him, say something like, if you are at the circus, are you going to watch, or just something like that. We've had Beanie Mac's daughter. We've had Tiffany Haddish reply him on her set. We've had, Cedric the Entertainer talk about it. We've seen receipts of people talking about what happened and saying that what Katt Williams said was true. We've had so many replies on Twitter, Instagram, people replying what he said, people coming back with what he said. So in this video, you're going to see all of the people that have replied him, all of the receipts, even from Beanie Mac, when he was talking about people stealing people's jokes, which Katt Williams is accusing Cedric the Entertainer and also some people of doing. We also have Ludacris doing a rap because he mentioned him about some things like Illuminati and the rest. So let's check out some of the response from these comedians, entertainers to the allegations that Katt Williams said on the conversation. I keep saying conversation because that's what Shannon Sharpe said. It's a conversation, not an interview.
Got the offer.
Then what happened?
But I turned it down.
Why?
Because you shit on Bernie. And I know the truth. You think I'm gonna let you shit on Bernie and then come get me? I'm the next king? Fuck you. Why? Because the whole time Bernie was here, you was acting like you was funnier than him. The reason you was supposed to go last is because it was your tour. Tell the truth. It was Steve's tour. Not it was going to be called the Kings of Comedy. It was Steve's tour. These are the guys opening for him. Of course you got to close if it's your tour. That's why it was such a big deal. But you couldn't do it because you can't beat the best. And until you humble yourself, you will forever be kinged by the king. And because you finally did it, because you had no other choice, and now that he gone, you gonna act like he wanted to be a movie star. You stop it. You stop it. That man was funnier than all of y'all, and y'all thought y'all had one over on him. You thought he was black and ugly, and you were good looking, and he couldn't make it because you did. And that ain't the way comedy works. The king is the funniest. Period. Every time. And that's why no audience member was ever swayed. It didn't matter where Bernie went. You think if Bernie went first, he wasn't the king? Get out of here. Get out of here. Get your ego out of this. You let the best be the best.
The TV.
I keep getting lots of contact about my thoughts on the Katt Williams interview on Club Shay. The interview heard round the world. And I don't know, my take is probably going to be really, really boring. Number one, I want people to keep in mind, my dad has been dead for 15 years, so I have not been fully immersed in the world of comedy. I don't know the ins and outs of that like that anymore because my end has been gone for 15 years. You know, I've got friends in the game, but we don't sit and talk about, you know, stuff like that. So I don't know Katt Williams. Never met him. That's one person I never did get to meet when my dad was alive. But from everything that I've ever heard my dad, you know, say, he's always seemed like a stand-up dude. So I have no qualms, no quarrels with him. I thought the interview was hilarious, entertaining. That man dropped so many one-liners that I'm sure we are going to be wearing down to the ground in this year of our Lord 2024. But one of my biggest takeaways in watching people's responses was how people were kind of like, oh, that's kind of sad, like, outside of being, you know, tickled by it. And I've seen people say stuff like, it's like watching, you know, your uncles go at it and you're like, oh, why can't we all just get along? Well, I mean, because everybody doesn't get along. Like, I think that's one of the misconceptions about comedians, and I guess it's due to the fact that what they do brings so much joy to others, that the perception, the expectation is that behind closed doors, everybody gets along, everybody it's in love. And no, it's not. They've always been competitive. Like, it's always been, as far as I've ever witnessed in watching my dad, it's always been kind of cutthroat. Like, you'll have, you know, people beefing, like, same as within your family. Just because y'all related don't mean y'all all get along, right? Comedy's no different. But for me, Katt Williams has my utmost appreciation and respect for giving my dad his props and his flowers. And I felt like it was genuine. There are some people who have given, you know, my dad his flowers now that he's dead, that I'm looking at like, you know, doggone well, he wasn't doing that when he was alive. And that, not just famous people, just people all across the board. As my dad used to say, you ever want to be loved by everybody? You ever want to be special? Just die. It's real easy to give lip service when somebody dies and you, oh, they were so wonderful. And that's not how you felt when they were alive. But when Katt spoke of my dad, for me, I felt his heart. I felt that it was genuine, and I appreciate it. Again, it's been 15 years since my dad's been dead. If you follow me at all, you know I've said this repeatedly. Like, it does my heart good to know that my dad was a stand-up guy, that the man that I knew him to be was who he actually was to people, because that's the thing. Like, we can love people and think they one way and then find out later. No. And I say, like, in 15 years, if he was an asshole, somebody by now would have been like, let me tell you about that mother. So that is not the case with my dad. Makes me so proud, and I just really appreciate what I believe the genuine love and respect that Katt Williams showed my father. It is so much appreciated. Much love and mad props to Katt Williams. I would love to sit down and just have a conversation with Katt Williams, because I think that is probably the most entertaining and gem-dropping conversation I probably would have in my life outside of conversations with my dad. So yeah, so that's my take. Like I said, probably boring, but that's what I thought. Again, much love and respect to Katt Williams.
LA, I've been doing shit. I was on That's So Raven. I was on all this shit. I did extra work. I was on all the white people TV shows, the black people TV shows. I used to be on Dance 360. I've been out here. I've been telling jokes since 1996. 1996. This man said, oh, they wouldn't let her perform in the Comedy Store. That's true. They wouldn't let me perform on the white nights in the Comedy Store, but I performed on all the black nights. They wouldn't let me perform on the white nights at the Improv, but I performed on all the black and Latino nights. And so the rest of my...
I went out to audition for Friday After Next as Money Mike, not the Santa Claus. And that is the honest God truth. I had no reason to go on there and to go on Shannon Sharpe show and lie about any of that. That's what I auditioned for, was Money Mike. And I guess the producers, Cube and everybody saw something different. And I think that Money Mike character, Special K, was going to come off as kind of like
just a guy who was hanging around in the strip mall, who was just kind of being annoying, and almost like a crackhead type of character. That was
right.
Just,
so I guess when Katt Williams did it, they added the whole pimp twist to that character, which was actually a better decision every single show I have done since '97, maybe not big arenas, but I pack up those theaters and have to add shows in comedy clubs. And between radio and all of that and raising a family I'm comfortable with, what makes me sad, I don't like the way that made my kids feel. And that's why I'm not going to, go after him, because he has kids and family members and nieces and nephews also, and it hurts our family members and people that do love us when we say hurtful things about each other. So we want to wish Katt Williams the best or whatever. It ain't nothing but love over here.
So tell me about
never said thank you.
So what's up with you and Steve, man?
Ain't nothing with me. Well, Steve stole my material on his show, so I had a beef on that.
On what show?
When he was on his the talk show he had, and he did all my Halloween material one Halloween. I'm watching. Somebody called me and said, "Man, homeboy doing your material." So he did my whole Halloween run. And I know he didn't think of it. This is true stuff that really happened to me. And so my thing is, you didn't have to do that, homeboy.
Right.
So, you made enough money.
Wow.
You made enough money. You did enough. Why are you on my material?
Right.
What's that about? And then, people want to jump up. Oh, he didn't know. He didn't steal your. So, yes, he did.
Yeah.
And so there's no need to no one else has did that.
So this was on his talk show. Which talk was it? TV talk show?
His TV talk show.
Okay, this was the one he had on NBC just recently.
Whatever, yeah. The one that damn, who took his show from him?
Kelly Clarkson.
How can Kelly Clarkson take your show, homie?
Hey, bro.
Damn.
So
you got your show took by Kelly Clarkson?
You know what's crazy? I met my fiance on Steve's show. On Steve Harvey's talk show. Yeah. So that's another story. But I want to get back to that because I think that is the most lewd thing a comic can do.
Yeah. To me, right? I step to you.
Right?
I'm going to step to you.
You ever step to him?
Yeah, step to him.
What'd you say to him?
Yeah, tell us about that.
Ask him.
Okay.
15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to L.A. and in his first year in L.A. he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is?
Something too about Kevin Hart, and he said Kevin Hart's come up wasn't organic. I totally disagree with that. And the reason I disagree with that is because we watched Kev not succeed in Hollywood. We watched his NBC sitcom. I think it was NBC. We watched his sitcom not succeed in Hollywood. We watched Soul Plane not do well.
Also, stand-up is like as organic as it gets. Like Kevin was selling out these shows. He was selling out clubs, arenas. Like people have to leave their house and then go see you. There's nothing the industry can keep putting somebody in a movie that we don't like.
Yeah.
And eventually it's just like they gave this person opportunities that none of us give a fuck about, but they like them, so they're going to do it.
And maybe that's what happened with Kev initially.
But with stand-up, nobody can force people to go see your show.
That's right.
They either like you or they don't like you. So
we watch Kev sitcom not be successful. We watch Kev's Soul Plane not do well. And then Kev hit that stand-up circuit. And Kev was in those comedy clubs. And I can tell y'all things that I saw firsthand. Kev would have his team walk around the comedy clubs and collect everybody's email. And he would collect these emails all across the country. And he started sending out a newsletter. Kev would send out a newsletter telling you where he's going to be. By the time all of these social media platforms hit, I remember when Twitter first came out, and we all was like, how the f*** Kev get all of these followers? Because he already had this database of people because of his newsletter.
Yeah.
I remember when Kev sold out Caroline's Comedy Club 12 times in a weekend. Like he did some unprecedented shit where he had like shows on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, like 3 shows a night or 4 shows a night. It was some crazy unprecedented number.
Kept adding shows.
Sold out, packed, lying down the fucking block. And just we backstage, Kevin Duvall going at it like they always do, like just back then, like they, because they was always on the same circuit, going back and forth. Kev looked at Duvall and said, "Hey man, they about to announce my name. When they announce my name, the crowd's gonna go so crazy that I'm not gonna be able to hear you. So we probably should just end this conversation now." And as soon as Kevin said that, coming to the stage, you seen him on this, you seen him on this, you seen him on that, you seen him on that, from Philadelphia, Kevin Hart. Crowd loses it. Kev walks off, turns back to the ball, winks, and goes on stage. I saw that for myself. That was 2009, maybe early 2010. So yeah, that's the, you know, I got to disagree with Katt on that one. I was at one of those sold out shows.
Yeah.
I remember when he did that at Caroline's, and that was such a huge moment. Deal.
Number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is? What? Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job. Why do you think Gary Owen can't cross over and he already white and been in comedy for 25 years?
I'm not going to get into it, but I've been, I was in an awkward situation one time where I can't say for 100% this person was trying to make me do something, casting couch type deal, but it felt like it. And I was like, is this that point where I've always heard, would you for $1 million? And I was thinking to myself, and I was in this office in this room going, well, this is I'm about to answer this question. And the answer was no, I wouldn't. So now I listen, I can't say for 100% that's where it was going, but it felt like it. It felt like it. You got to be in the room to feel it. And I was like, oh, this.
I miss on Shannon Sharpe show about when I was on Shannon Sharpe was telling him the story of some of the behind the scenes from Friday After Next. Let's start with that. When I went out there, let's just go back. In 2000, I was the host of BET Comic View and in the season 2004. I also worked on this show called Live from LA. That was my first job with BET, and that's where I met Ice Cube, if I'm not mistaken. And Ice Cube was like, man, hey, man, I like your work. I want to do some stuff with you. I want to put you in some movies. And Ice Cube started putting me in movies, which really helped my career. I was in All About the Benjamins, but of course, when they changed the ending of it, that part didn't make any sense. But then he put me in Friday After Next. And just for clarification, I went out to audition for Friday After Next as Money Mike, not the Santa Claus. And that is the honest God truth. I had no reason to go on there and to go on Shannon Sharpe's show and lie about any of that. That's what I auditioned for, was Money Mike. And I guess the producers, Cube and everybody saw something different. And I think that Money Mike character, Special K, was going to come off as kind of like
just a guy who was hanging around in the strip mall who was just kind of being annoying and almost like a crackhead type of character that was
right.
Just,
so Katt, I guess when Katt Williams did it, they added the whole pimp twist to that character, which was actually a better decision and made it funnier. Because ain't no way in the hell I could have executed that role like that, and I'm glad that they made that decision and they put me in a Santa Claus role, which was actually perfect. So when I got back to LA, they said, hey, your role has changed. You're going to be the Santa Claus, and here's the Santa Claus suit. Put it on, and here's your lines. Sat in the trailer, went over the lines, went over my stuff with Cube, and the rest is history. Had no reason. I just want to clarify that. Had no reason to lie about that. As a matter of fact, my manager at the time, Gary Abdo, who is still one of my best friends, who also helped start my career, and he's the owner of the Atlanta Comedy Theater in Atlanta. We got him on the phone. Just to clarify, Gary Abdo, good morning.
Good morning, Richard. How are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm good, man. Just for clarification, you was my manager at the time. We went to L.A. together. For the audition, Cube wanted to see us. What is your version?
Yeah, well, we're old, and that was 23 years ago. So, our memories are what our memories are. You went out, you auditioned, they wanted you to play Money Mike. That was the sides that they had sent. The sides are the portion of the script for the part they want you to play. Those were the sides they sent. That was the audition you did. They said, great, we want you to play this role. My recollection is you had to go back and read for the execs from the studio one final time. And the night before that, we got different sides, and they said, no, we want you to play this role. And we didn't understand it. You know, we really were under the impression, well, you had the role as Money Mike, but then all of a sudden they switched it up. Now we understand why. Katt came in, blew them away. There's not much else to say. You know, it's indisputable that Katt played that role, killed it, built an entire career out of that one role that all of us look at and go, wow, that's absolutely amazing. But it's also indisputable. You were auditioning for Money Mike. We were told you had the role. You just had to read one more time, and then that switched up.
And the crazy thing about it is we had a conversation when it came out. He said a lot of this 12 years ago, and we had a conversation because I was on 14th Street in Atlanta, right by the Four Seasons Hotel, and I was driving down the street with my granddad in the car, and I saw Katt Williams going across the street on 14th Street, and I said, Katt, what's up? Whatever. I just wanted to make sure we was good. He said, come over and have a cup of coffee with me, because he was walking over to Starbucks. And I went over and he went in there and got the coffee. We was chopping it up or whatever. Just didn't even really talk about the issue or whatever. I said, hey, man, I want you to come out and say hello to my granddad. My granddad is a fan. He came out to the truck. I'll never forget, I was in my Ford F-150, and I came out and spoke to my granddad. He hugged my granddad and wished him well. My granddad was like, keep doing what you're doing, young man. My granddad was living at the time. It was just me and my granddaddy in the truck, and we dapped it up, and that was it. I mean, that was it, and I thought that we were good. I didn't know that we had any issues, and if there are any issues or if there's anything that I've done, not only to Katt Williams, to anybody, I apologize, and I'm not perfect. I made mistakes, but I did. You know, that's just the honest to God truth. And I did audition for what I auditioned for, and I'm glad that the producers made that decision. And let me address all of the things with Gary. You can help me out with this, because you know, comedy greats like Flip Wilson played Geraldine, Richard Pryor played some roles on his show. Jamie Foxx played Wanda. Martin played Shanae. I did. Bernice Jenkins, Tyler Perry did. There's a lot of comics and a lot of comedy greats that did characters for the sake of funny, for entertainment, for the sake of the laugh. And it has nothing to do with nobody's comfortable in the role. Nobody wants to put on a damn dress or comfortable in it, you know. That has nothing to do with my manhood being lessened for trying to play a role and trying to put food on the table for my family. Because I grew.
It's a prop. It's nothing more than a prop.
What's cracking? It's your homie Ice Cube. Just wanted to address a few things. You know, everybody been checking out the internet. My man Katt Williams. You know, first of all, I just want to say, you know, we shot that movie over 20 years ago, so, you know, people have different perspectives, and it's been a long time. I also want to say, you know, every comedian that I've worked with, every comedian that I've put in a movie, I only put them in the movie because I thought they was funny. I thought they was perfect for the part. I tried to put them in a position to win. That's what it's all about, you know. I don't, you know, I look at from, you know, Chris Tucker and Bernie Mac and Mike Epps, Katt Williams, you know, Ricky Smiley, Michael Blackson, Cedric, Kevin Hart. You know, all these guys I know are funny as hell. You know, I didn't discover them. You know, they were doing their stand-up or doing their thing, and I knew that they were great and that they could act, and that, you know, if I have an opportunity, I was going to give them an opportunity. You know, to me, that's what it's all about. You know, as far as, you know, specific things, you know, Katt was 100 on a few things. Most of what he was saying, a couple things, you know, I just want to clarify. When we bring in a new, you know, comedian, we do have them try out for different roles. So Ricky did give Money Mike a shot. But when we saw him and, you know, we kind of saw how he moved and how he was, you know, auditioning, we decided that he would be a better, you know, Santa Claus, which was, to me, the perfect casting. When we saw Mike, damn, I call him Money Mike. When we saw Katt, you know, when I saw him, I just knew that he was perfect for Money Mike. And, you know, Katt, you know, said he wrote his role, which, I mean, the role was written, but he enhanced it. This is why Katt was so dope in the movie. You know, Money Mike had a small role, you know, about as big as the Santa Claus role, but when we start filming, he was giving us such magic that we kept expanding his role and giving him more to do because he was on point. You know, when we shoot these movies, you know, for one, the scripts are fire, or they wouldn't even do it. The scripts are laugh out funny. But we shoot the script, but once we get what we need from the script, we let the comedians ad-lib, riff, you know, play with the words, do their thing. You know, we give them a take where they can, or 2, 3 takes where they can go off and do what they feel. You know, sometimes it makes the movie, sometimes it don't. In presence, you have Damon, just got out of prison, sweating, Craig and Day for the rent money. And then you have Money Mike, you know, a pimp that treats his woman, you know, like a property. So Craig is always fighting the villains in the movie, you know, from the Joker brothers to Debo. And so we already had Craig fighting Santa Claus. And the only real way to get rid of the other 2 villains was to have them go against each other. And the plier joke was always in the script, you know, was never, we would never ever show that, you know, that's not my style if you look at any of my movies. So, you know, that was never a discussion, you know. We, you know, at that point in everybody's career, you know, we would listen to a certain extent, but we wasn't gonna change the movie for any actor, you know. We do what we feel, and if it was a rape scene, it would have been in the movie. There was no reason not to shoot it. But that's not my style. I don't even like that kind of shit in movies, on camera. And so, you know, that was, to me, a little discrepancy there. You know, Katt, he wrote a lot of his part because, you know, like I said, he was giving us jewels, so we were keeping the camera rolling. He was coming off the dome. He was coming prepared every day to steal the show. You know, that was his mission. And
I did one day of Hip Hop Squares, the show D-Ray used to host. And I filmed 3 episodes in one day of Hip Hop Squares. It made 4 times the money I made doing 2 weeks of the Steve Harvey show. And I go, well, this is backwards. I'm just a square. I'm one of 9, and I'm not even the host. And I made more money on Hip Hop Squares than I did being – there's only 2 people on the show every week, me and Steve. And I go, they weren't even trying to hear anything I said. We want to do 2 more weeks with them. I'm getting paid like SAG minimum. Minimum wage is what I got paid. And I'm going, I can't do this for another 2 weeks. I've already lost a bunch of money. I lost 2 weekends of work. Now I'm going to lose 2 more weekends? And I don't know after these 2 weeks, are you going to hire me or not? I can't take a month off, basically.
2 comedians, right? Who would you say is the most overrated comedian of all time?
Katt Williams. Definitely overrated.
But as a comedian, though, you feel like he overrated?
Oh, yeah. Oh, way overrated. Way. It's all mouth and no product. Where's his successful movies? Where's his successful TV show? He did the stand-up, okay. He did 19 of those, you know. So, where's he great at? Greatness is consistent. Rick James didn't have, give it to me, baby. And that's it. He had teardrops. He created, he brought forth Tina Marie, the great Tina Marie. What great has he done since Pimpin' Chronicles? That stand-up is just, the stand-up is just one part of the show. And he got stand-up, TV, movies. That's a complete artist. If you did a stand-up special 20 years from now, 20 years ago, and you ain't said shit since then, it's a one-trick pony.
Did a masterful set, and nobody's gonna pay him. They just clapping. And I know he's broke as shit back there. Wouldn't it be nice if somebody just showed up and gave him a little blessing? And he didn't have to suck me off for it and thanks, Katt. Just, boy, I really needed it. Why would you do that? If you was actually just trying to help people, you would. People know that's how I pay my tithes. If I got paid $100,000 to be at your city,
That's a fact.
I'm gonna take 10,000 of that and put it in your homeless area. Not because I got to, because you gave me 100 racks to come to your little rinky-dink town. Who would I be to not pay my tithes back to your town? That's how I got in this position.
Had a security go back in the car, get a couple $100,000, and start giving everyone on the block. Like, you also said that Katt Williams gave you $15,000.
Yeah.
When you got out of prison.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Dion Cole hit me up the other day, and he was like, "Man, more people need to talk about how generous Katt Williams is." Man. And I remember,
whenever I see him, I'm gonna give him whatever's in my pocket.
Just like that, boom.
If it's 10, 20, whatever's in my pocket, he gonna get it.
Katt Williams is legendary for this kind of thing. I remember I interviewed Beanie Siegel, and he said Katt Williams pulled up like on his block, and he got out, and people started to crowd around him. And this one woman was like, he started talking to this one woman. He's like, "Oh, how you doing?" "Oh, not too good. You know, I'm a little behind on my rent." He goes, "Really?" Had a security go back in the car, get a couple $100,000, and start giving everyone on the block like $10,000, $15,000. Was wearing a fur, gave his fur to somebody, and just literally just step by step just giving away money to strangers.
In my opinion, there's nobody on the planet who promotes films the way you do. There's something about your work ethic and the way you promote films, even to a point where you'll tweet out a response like to the Katt Williams situation while promoting your movie, which I thought was a brilliant way to do it. You could have also responded with a Mark Twain link because you're getting the Mark Twain Prize here in March. But I just wanted to get your perspective on that. I feel like you always respond positively to negative situations, and I wonder your perspective on that, and kind of, I know your grind. I've been interviewing for years, Kevin. I know you work really hard, but what's your perspective on that and your response to that situation?
I said it, and this sums it up well. Like, you don't entertain the circus, you watch it, right? And when a lion comes out and rides the bike, you don't think about it too hard. You just go, okay, that's crazy. The lion's riding a bike. And then you go home and enjoy the rest of your day. I don't feed into the stuff at all. At the end of the day, it's all entertainment to a certain degree. So you just hope that people can be smart enough and have a tremendous amount of logic to just go and possibly do research or fact check. And if they do, then great. If they don't, then kudos to that as well. I just don't have the time for it. There's too much going on. So to your point, while marketing and promoting a movie, I think the biggest priority for me is getting my fan base to understand how excited I am about the work that I put into this, because that's where my focus is getting eyeballs to the thing that took me about 4 months to shoot and even longer to develop and produce, and something I'm significantly proud of. And I owe it to my team at Heartbeat and to my fans to deliver the material in the best possible manner. So that's it for me. That's the focus. Anything else outside of those things, they don't really get an inkling of, I guess you say, what's the word?
Attention or
engagement.
Attention,
yes.
Even Charlemagne, a lot of people were saying that Katt was trying to downplay your accomplishments. What to you is the driving force behind your success?
My success is my success. I want everybody to win. I love everybody.
I love that. Once again, you know, your ex-wife is going on tour with Katt.
I want everybody to win. I hope the tour is great.
I love that. So you are supportive of her.
Hey, Kev, you didn't say nothing to Katt Williams when he did a 3-hour interview talking slow yesterday. You didn't put a shot clock on him.
Well, do you entertain the circus or do you watch it, Perk? Which one do you do? The fun fact about the New York Knicks, I don't know if you guys know this, but Katt Williams bought the Knicks.
He definitely bought it.
He bought the Knicks, and it's rumored that he took the Knicks back, returned them with a receipt.
You can do that. You didn't know you could do that.
The first person ever did.
Oh, they gave him a 30-day policy.
He bought it for 15 days.
And returned it.
Yeah. That's another fun fact about the New York Knicks.
He made the team.
He played.
He played. Oh, he played.
He played with the Knicks. He played with them.
Well, you know he's fast. They say he's fast.
Yeah,
he run
one of the fastest.
3.9. Oh, yeah. What you say? A sub 3.9. He figured out how to play basketball from reading all them books.
3,000 of them.
3,000 a year.
A year.
That's 2 a day. At 6 years old. That's 2 a day. Who knew he was so voracious?
At the age 7, he got accepted to I think it was Delaware University.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Never made public news.
No. Ever.
The biggest secret in the world.
Hey.
Smartest kid to ever do it. They kept it a secret for 48 years. Yeah. They kept it a secret, and it just dropped on us.
He was hitchhiking on the side of the street at 13. So they couldn't find it. Speaking of which, Kev, you've had a busy week.
Yeah.
A tough one.
Yeah, real busy week, fellas. A real busy one.
Okay. Oh, Ja Morant coming in to the Lakers. Okay, I see you.
Another known fact, Katt dropped him off.
Oh, wow. Katt just dropped Ja Morant.
He gave him a ride.
In a spaceship. Okay. In a spaceship. Copy that. Spaceship that he parallel parked.
Known fact, Katt Williams has a NBA basketball court in his living room. He's the first to ever he's the first to embrace a true hardwood floor.
Yeah.
He bought it in his home.
Was he playing against that little boy that put him on the ground?
Another known fact.
By the way, he's fighting for the MMA championship, the 17-year-old boy that put him in the rear naked choke. In a headlock, right? But it's a known fact that Katt Williams do not breathe oxygen, so it didn't bother him.
Yeah.
Oh, copy that. You can't choke him out.
Yeah,
That's a known fact.
Everybody knows that.
He's 92-6 in one-on-one pickup game.
So as you can see, some of them have talked, oh no, we are not part of this. Oh, do you think I'm a plant? I'm not a plant. Oh, yes, he was right in saying that I didn't get the role of Money Mike, but I felt like I was giving, I was assured, and then everything changed. Ice Cube also talked about the fact that he played the role well, that they had now started giving him the liberty to adjust his lines, which he said that at a point he was adjusting his lines and also worked with the wardrobe to make his character the way it is, that is now iconic. And a whole lot of things. Beanie Mac's daughter talking about how the whole thing with Steve Harvey stuff was, and it's just interesting to see how some of the things, a lot of the things that Katt Williams said was actually true. And it's also interesting to see how people, the people that he talked about are replying him. Some people are saying that a lot of the people that he called out, they cannot say that what he said is not true. So they will look for other things to try and deviate the attention or deviate from the point that he made. With Kevin Hart's reply or whatever on ESPN, on ESPN, the basketball stuff, I thought it was just, that guy was just being, if you watch my other video, you know I don't vibe with him. So I thought it was just somehow, it's been such a mess. And I'm glad he was able to talk about it, put everything out. Also, I'm glad he was able to defend Beanie Mac. He was able to talk about the things that Beanie Mac encountered, since Beanie Mac is no more around to say his own side. I'm glad he's able to defend him, say his side, and prove that some people are just something else in the entertainment industry. So I don't know what you guys think about the whole situation. Do you think the people that I called out were guilty of some of the things that they said? Do you think their reply or their response is showing that they are guilty, or do you think they're trying to deviate from what is said? So I would love to hear your thoughts about the whole situation. So please leave your comments in the comment section so that we can get this discussion popping. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed and you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.